Just a little bit of a delay here on the first as this group gets ready to tee off.
Now Sergio Garcia with his birdie putt from just above the hole. Eagled the first. These greens, Darren, they seem like they picked up a little speed.
Yeah, I think so. Fax. I think with them drying out a little bit, they're going to get that little bit faster as the day goes on. They're currently running about 12.5 in the stint, so moisture gets out of them, they're going to get that a little bit quicker. So the guys that can keep the ball below the hole and take most of those big slopes out of play are going to be at a huge advantage.
No doubt about that. And if the wind kicks up, really affecting the putting as they dry out.
Bryson DeChambeau just a moment ago. You talk about compelling figures. There are a few more interesting than Bryson DeChambeau. So he makes his way towards the green as we head back towards the first tee and our marquee group.
This is the 209. This is the 209 starting time. Please welcome from Australia, Jason Day.
That's just a beautiful draw there.
From England, the 2013 U.S. Open champion, Justin Rose.
Always very thorough. A thrilling climax to the Masters in April with that battle head-to-head with Sergio Garcia, the Olympic champion and the U.S. Open champion from 4 years ago.
Do that. Hold your head.
And from Northern Ireland, the 2011 U.S. Open champion, Rory McIlroy.
Well, a little bit wide there off the tee for the 2011 champion, and he has been bursting to go these last few days, indeed these last few weeks, Darren. You know, he's been off with injuries, he's been practicing hard, then just trying to recuperate in Portugal, and he's now come out here a man on a mission.
Yeah, and he's in a great place in his personal life, but like all of it, we haven't seen him play that much golf this year through that injury. Ernie Els came and played in the Irish Open for him last year, and Rory went back down to South Africa and returned the favour earlier this year and hurt himself there. So we haven't seen him playing too much golf. Like, I think we're all interested to see how it's going to work out this week.
Bubba with a bogey on the first after a beautiful drive. Nice bounce back for a birdie there to get it back to level. And let's go over to Shane Bacon.
Thanks, guys. Ernie Els with me. Ernie, two-time U.S. Open champion. I know you made a couple of late bogeys, but a 2-under par round of 7. Do you have to be happy with the way you've started?
I am, yeah. Obviously, as you said, the finish wasn't that great, but you know, in between that was pretty nice. You know, I played pretty good. obviously bogeying the 18th wasn't planned, but you take 70 and move on.
And Ernie, 4 of your last 8 rounds coming into Erin Hills have been under 70. You found something. What have you found?
Well, my body. You know, at 47, going on 48, you know, you get a couple of niggles, and I've had quite a few of my share this year. You know, my hips, my lower back, shoulder, a lot of stuff has been giving me a bit of problems, but I feel better now. Been working out a little bit better and stretching, and my swing is feeling better. And actually on the greens, I'm feeling really comfortable.
Yeah, I was going to ask, the putting has really improved. Statistically, you're in one of the top 10 putters on the PGA Tour. You putted really well today. When you get to greens like Erin Hills, putting the way you've been putting, do you feel a lot more comfortable?
Absolutely. I mean, his surfaces are some of the best I've ever seen, really. The green staff here at Erin Hills really must get a lot of credit. The whole golf course is in great shape, and especially the greens. So you get it online, and this morning in the greens a little receptive, you know, you get a couple of birdies going.
And how do you pace yourself throughout this week? You mentioned your age. I don't want to say, you know, you're one of the older guys out here, but how do you pace yourself to go through the next 54 holes and continue to be on this first page of the leaderboard and have a chance to win?
Well, I think a start like I've had is very important. You know, that keeps the energy up. Obviously, you know, being under par in the US Open after one round, and now we just, you know, kind of keep it easy. You know, work on the short game. Not too many golf balls to be hit this afternoon for me, but I'm feeling physically great this week. So hopefully that keeps it up.
Well, Ernie, we appreciate a great start to the week. Excited to see what happens in the next 54 holes.
Thanks, man.
All right, back to you guys, Shane.
Thank you very much. His 25th consecutive start in the US Open, a great history, a 2-time former winner. Great opening round from the South African Ernie Els. US captain in the upcoming President's Cup.
From Duluth, Georgia, Stuart Sink. And from Mexico, Roberto Diaz.
So Phil Mickelson is at home and missing the US Open. And it's the first US Open actually since 1994 we've had without Tiger or Phil. But big opportunity for Roberto Diaz. Now a moment ago, Paul Casey. This was his approach to this opening par 5.
That's a nice way to start your day. This hole, 2011 in the US Amateur, played the easiest hole, but hasn't been playing that way. It's a little bit softer. Guys aren't bombing it on there too, apart from Sergio, but good start.
Over here on the third hole, Sergio Garcia's putt for birdie. He too eagled the first, narrowly missed a birdie on the second.
His stroke has smoothed out so much. I think he's gained so much confidence as well from Augusta.
Now back on that second hole, the short par 4. Henrik Stenson would have been one of the favorites early on. Having British Open champion. He too makes a birdie here in the second hole, which is the second easiest hole on the golf course today.
As we go down to the first hole, and Jason Day next to play.
Yeah, after a beautiful tee shot, iron coming up just a bit short. Has to pitch it about 14, 15 steps to get the surface. And then we'll run out for about 20 feet. Not real tough.
Beautiful there. Lovely touch. First green. Always the sort of pitch you want to just checking your touch and feel out, and played that perfectly there.
Well, you can see there in context the ball just perfectly. A little ground afterwards. You don't ever want to take a divot, especially up into the hill. Continues to accelerate that club and then puts the brake on. Well, if you're looking at Europeans or South Africans that you want to have win this championship, Schwartzel can do it. Second last week. Beautiful putt there. And this guy can hit it far too. One of the best swings in the game. Back up to the third. Here's Bubba Watson for par. He's only had one top 10 in the U.S. Opens. Oh, and he gets it to go.
This week might be a good week for Bubba. You know, you got to use some imagination and everything. And this is right in his ballpark this week.
And as long as he doesn't let the rough get to him.
And on the first green here is a birdie opportunity for the Englishman, Justin Rose.
Yeah, had well over 200 yards for his third shot. This a little bit from the right, then back to the left of the hole. Drove it in the right rough and had to pitch it out, man. In the primary cut and still had a terrible lie.
You know, Curtis, it just shows you how important these par 5 tee shots are for the players. You know, in order to salvage par. You know.
Yeah, this is Mark Leishman, who's a good major track record going of late. And that playoff at St. Andrews 2 years ago. Nice birdie from the Aussie.
A lot of the guys at Farm have been saying he's the guy to watch this week. In the locker room, that's the conversation. A lot of guys saying he's hitting it really well. He's playing nicely, and he's been up there a few times now in majors.
Yeah, Rory has a birdie opportunity on one.
Yeah, not much to it, man. Just green runs away from him in this direction.
Those ones in the first green, you're sort of never sure if you really want to hold them or you don't want to hold them. It's a weird scenario in professional golf. You don't want to miss a 3-footer, but you're not too bad if you have a 20-footer. You don't really want to leave yourself a 10-footer because you miss that, then you sort of get a bad vibe for the day. But he hit a good putt there, but unfortunately just missed.
Darren, he hasn't hit a putt in competition in a long time.
Day has this for a birdie. Good start.
If you're looking for a guy whose game is sort of suited to this golf course, he would be in the first 3 or 4 names that you'd pick out of the hat.
5 top 9s in the last 6 years. An incredible record for Day. But chasing that elusive victory. But Rory now to tidy up. Ooh, did a little bit of a lap there.
Just giving himself a little bit of excitement in the first hole.
Exactly.
He's probably thinking he's missed it at this stage. But, oh, Just about to get in there. If it had been Jordan, the way things were going for Jordan Spieth earlier, it would probably come back to him. But it went in, and it's upon the card and off to the second a bit. Trying to drive it up close there and make birdie there.
You can visit usopen.com/VUSO if you'd like to virtually play Erin Hills and compete for a chance to win a trip to the 2018 US Open. Get online and get involved, and we hope to see you next year.
Yeah, wonderful week for Strick. I think he's been looking forward to this for so long. I think for him to go through qualifying and play the way he did when it meant so much to him, I thought it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
If this is a golf course as well, you know, his game for not one of the bombers, not one of the longer hitters, it's perfect for him because his short game should shine this week. One of the best putters out there, chips it beautifully, brilliant. Fun week for him with Nicky caddying as well in the back, with his wife Nicky.
That's a great look at that first hole. You see that green is just way over there on the left-hand side, but your target is out to the right. It's kind of hard to aim away from that.
Well, he's made his debut on the PGA Tour Champions this year. Looking evergreen.
Nice little easy, simple chip and run for him there.
So Paul Casey chipped in from, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he'll leave it too far away from there, Strick.
Well, speaking of the old guys, here's one of them. Former U.S. Open champion from Olympia Fields, Jim Furyk for birdie on 11.
Beautiful, right in the middle there.
Nice putt for Furyk. And interesting group. 3 second place U.S. Open finishers in this group.
And here is Masters champion.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks.
The sound he makes these days is incredible. He rips it off that driver. He hits it so hard. It seems like he's getting older. He's hitting it harder and harder.
Farther and farther.
Yeah, he's right up there in the stats.
Here's Jason Day. We talked about this hole for the long hitters. Even though it's a little bit against the wind, Gil, if they fly it 265 yards, it can get on the screen.
Brad, this is one of my favorite holes on the golf course. So many options, so many different ways to play it, and they're all the way the land dictated it.
You can see from the tracer there, that's a little bit left. Might have caught that. No, it stayed in the fairway.
He said to his caddy, a little bit toey.
Al McElroy. Oh, sorry, Rose.
Spoke to Rosie last week. He came up for a couple of practice rounds and sent me a couple of messages. He was excited, really excited about the golf course. Loved his first look at it. His caddy Fuchs was the same. They couldn't wait to get going. Really, really enjoyed the test.
Kid Darren, but he was struggling warming up today, having a tough time finding the club face.
You know, Curtis, like Rory, they've been having some back issues.
Okay, come on. This could run to the front of the green.
Oh, that hit hard, too. Look at that. Grab that bunker, but not too bad a shot from there.
Well, that is not a bad spot at all to be.
I think if you look at a lot of these young guys, the way they hit the ball now, they're hitting it harder and harder, and they're all going to have back issues because they're hitting it so hard.
Now McElroy. Well, that's right on line. The longest hitter in this group. The kid up there. Oh, you got the group there putting. Look at that. Eagle putt now.
It seems a little bit strange that there's nobody there on the top of the hill to give a red flag or a green flag. Usually if we were playing and there's a drivable hole, there's a marshal up there, there's a volunteer up there with a flag to say you can go or whatever. Out of respect for the guys in the green.
Well, right in front of him, another one of the longer hitters, Justin Thomas. This is while they were hitting, and that was his little short putt for birdie to get him to 1 under par. Here's Henrik Stenson, second shot from the long par 4, 497 yards. Wind's been against the players here today. This is the traditional wind, what they'd expect to see the golf course play. Big slope there, bringing it back. Any shot at the U.S. Open you can get on the green is good when you can get it close from that rough. Awesome.
Henrik is a very, very strong man. If there's somebody who's going to be able to muscle out of the rough this week, he is one of them.
Adam Hadwin, the Canadian. He's hitting this one from the hay. Managing to control it fairly well. Wow. Now that is an excellent result.
A little bit of imagination there. Use the slope and use the contours. Perfect. Number 12 here. The guys speaking to Billy Foster earlier there, caddy for for Lee Westwood, and Seve Ballester said this was one of the toughest holes playing this morning whenever they were out there. A tough drive, win into off the right from today, and trying to drive it up on top of that saddle. That bit right there. The longer hitters can maybe get down below, and then when they do get down below, leave themselves a little bit more of a blind second shot into the green. But they over the flags at the back, but a great hole, Gil.
Yeah, you can see there that the graphics are the only hole the architects had on every single routing, and I can understand why. And I just think this hole is sublime. I mean, it just lays in the landscape as good as can be, as natural golf holes you'll find out there.
3 mile.
Back down to the first hole, Roberto Diaz, the 30-year-old Mexican who is here as a result of the withdrawal of the 6-time runner-up Phil Mickelson. Now he did spring his drive a little right under a bit of pressure to try and make an opening par. So he's got an outside chance of a 5.
Been a tough sort of week for him, knowing that he's first reserve, and with Phil, whether he's going to come or he's not going to come. So weather dependent. Yes, he would practice trying to get himself ready, but until Phil actually withdrew this morning, tough for him.
Now, here is Adam Scott on the 4th.
Get left. Left now.
Well, the fairways may be generous, but if you spray it at all, you're going to find yourself with quite the hazard in that rough. And they talk about the difficulty of the bunkers, but Fescue is certainly proving to be quite a tricky campaigner.
121 yards left for Sergio Garcia. A little bit of breeze in his face. The pin cut on a ledge on the back right, only 8 yards deep. And just 3 behind you, the downslope. So big tee shot gives him a chance to get this very tight and awkward flag.
Middle of the green here, Brownie, I would imagine would be a very good shot. Confident Sergio.
Here just a moment ago, Paul Casey for birdie after eagle, and we saw him pitch it in from the right front of the green. Now he's 3 under after 2. Very impressive start for the Englishman. Now live, this is Jason Day's second shot.
From 57 yards, only 53 to carry the front left. Has to carry it all the way to the surface or come back down the hill. It's like a pretty simple shot, but it's all about touch here.
Curtis, off these surfaces, it seems like these guys are controlling the spin so well. You know, short shots are usually tough to control spin. These guys are stopping it on a dime.
Well, good players like tight lies, don't they? They trap it so well.
Hit.
Spin it back there.
Good try.
Kind of that in-between distance. Nice action.
Now Steve Stricker just short of the green, but he has this for an eagle.
The old pro going with a putter there, trying to give himself the best chance.
Yeah, that putter has been a good friend to him over the years.
I've seen it work way too often. Beautiful start from there.
And great support as well for the Wisconsin native.
Now Rose, second shot on 2.
Just an absolutely ideal lie, slightly on the upslope.
Yeah, you said it, Curtis. Lovely touch.
You know, sometimes I think a shot looks so easy, you really have to keep your concentration because you do it so often so well.
Over on the 5th hole, a little bit easier earlier. Mark Leishman's second shot. Lengthy par 4.
Woo! Second hole out we're seeing today. That's an hour earlier today on 15.
Yeah, winner earlier at Bay Hill. Arnold Palmer's fantastic tournament there in Orlando. Nice. Back over to 2, and here's Rory McIlroy with an eagle putt, Curtis.
Well, he had 323 to the front and about 18 feet left.
Has enough touch with that driver to leave it under the hole. Yet to be an eagle here today. Oh!
They're going in.
Usually you jinx them when you say that. Nice one.
Yeah, nice there. Nice start. Poor tee shot on 1, but made up for it, obviously. There.
Well, that's a new putter, right? A little wobbly there on number 1.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting it to 22 feet or whatever Curtis said it was.
Big day for Rory today, you know, when he's been out of competition for so long, to see what sort of number he's going to come up with today.
Yeah, it's really an unknown for him.
And his first round of majors haven't been so good of late, so, you know, it's a day that he really needs to shoot under par, just for himself more than anything else.
You know, he set it back on the tee. Jason Day hit a beautiful draw off that first tee. I think this hole really favors this course favors the right to left player. There's so many holes like a first, like 3, where you want to start the ball and use the slope where the ground makes you want to hit some draws here. Now Day for birdie.
You watched Jason and Jordan Spieth past couple of years. Those putts seem to have gone in for them. Of late, maybe this past few months, they're not quite falling in the edges like they did before. Makes a huge difference.
Steve Stricker has this for a 4 on the first hole. Nicely done. Good start. As we go to the 4th green, we saw a beautiful, precise approach from the Masters champion.
Getting some help from his caddy Glenn Murray. They've been together the best part of 17 years or so. He's on a little crest in the hill. I think this one should break towards the back of the green, a bit from his left. Not easy to see the line.
That one appeared to come off a little bit off the heel, that one. Not one of his better strokes, I think, from Sergio. He'll be disappointed not after such a good second shot in there. US Open is all about taking your chances when you get them.
Now back on number 2, Jason Day made his par. Now Justin Rose.
To take advantage of a wonderful tee shot and even better bunker shot.
That's the kind of birdie you like to make at a U.S. Open. Now back on the tee, Steve Stricker, the on 1. Don't know if he can carry that bunker up the right.
It might look like a fairway wood there, in fact.
Yeah, it sure did.
Just playing smart, playing to his strengths.
It's a wide fairway, but it's a blind shot for these players. 14 out of the 18 holes have at least one blind shot.
Well, just left edge of this bunker.
Leaves him right there. The strength of his game, you know, his wedge
Is that what
game.
you're looking at?
No, I was looking. I thought it was between the tree and the bunker. I thought it was between, see the tree line and the bunker line. I thought it was right at that.
Yeah, so the 2 darker trees.
Stuart Sink,
You looking at the
last week, playing some nice golf.
Yeah.
Good.
I thought you said left hand. That's not the line.
No, just left of that is the darker trees I was looking at.
Okay. Right, left and in.
2 o'clock. Yep.
The conference there with Taylor Ford, his caddy, trying to figure out the best line of play here. He looks like he's going with the driver. Nice of him to go through the qualifying.
That's my stats guys back at home that I worked with for a long time. They put him forward as a bit of a sleeper this week because of his length and the way he's been playing of late. So it'd be nice to see Stuart having a good week.
You know, and his golf swing looks terrific.
Thanks.
He's got speed. He gets speed. He doesn't look as if he hits it that far, but he does.
Oh, and that's scampering down there. That'll be close to the front.
Just right of this little tree.
Gorgeous. And check this out. These are the notable qualifiers of the many around the country in the different Stricker. You see Jaeger, he's leading the Web.com tour. Bryson DeChambeau, we saw him out on the course right now. Stuart Sink. Stuart Hagestad, the mid-amateur champion. And then right next to him, Joaquin Niemann, #1 amateur in the world. Now back on 3, Rory McIlroy.
Swing, mate.
497 yards. They kind of want to take it off that right-hand bunker right there. And he may have hit a fairway metal there. Did it look like Terrence?
It landed very soft, didn't it, if it was his driver?
And you can see with the soft conditions, normally that's a big slope, and that ball would have fed all the way down to the left side of the fairway with a good angle, but they're staying up on that hillside today.
Yeah, that's right, Gil. And, you know, it's 315 yards to that bunker, but it is an elevated tee. It plays a lot less than that for these players. Yeah, 308 if you move the tee up a little bit. Now Justin Rose.
And back into a little breeze coming out of the right, Brad.
How hard is it blowing out there, Curtis?
It's blowing about 12, maybe gusting to 15, which is not much. It's depends on where you're on the golf course. They're not in a real exposed area right now, but when we get up on top, you'll certainly feel a little bit more, but right now, not much at all.
Yep, he'll have a little hanging lie here. Ball be above his feet.
Just looked a little bit out of sync, like you were saying there earlier, Curtis. Justin's just not quite got the club with him as he's turning through. He's just struggling a little bit.
Now Jason Day. Spends so much time behind the ball trying to paint that picture.
Yeah.
Yep, picks up the tee quickly.
This is so unlike one. So unlike.
If I was a spectator, I'd be watching these 3 guys.
This should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Beautiful shot for Day. Now back over to 5. Sergio Garcia's tee shot here with driver.
Shot.
He drives the ball so well these days. Both the distance and his accuracy, his total driving, he's almost as good as it gets.
Well, that hole turns around. They play the last 3 holes into the wind, and they get it downwind. Again, if they can keep it up that left side field, they won't have a blind shot into the green.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And one of the things you get on this shot, and also saw it on the 3rd tee, is look at the angles of the fairways. None of the fairways really line up directly to the tee. You're always kind of playing off with a little bit of an angle. You want to bite off as much as you can chew, and Bubba can certainly bite it off.
Boy, that's a lot straighter than normal. Do you like that when you design a course? Do you want to see angles? Is that something you prefer?
I do. I really think that sets it up. It makes it slightly a little more awkward off the tee, which for this class of player, I think if you can do some little tweaks to make it more mentally challenging, that's certainly fair game.
Now Adam Scott's tee shot. Watson and Garcia's balls right next to each other.
This hole playing virtually straight down breeze now. We've had all the different breezes in the practice day, but it's virtually the prevailing wind.
Adam Scott's lost 2 drives to the right already. Who's going to get the long drive here, Darren?
I think Bubba's just going to get us a pink ball there.
2 yards. That's impressive. There we go. Sergio Garcia, the reigning Masters champion. Off to a quick start here at Erin Hills. Ricky Fowler atop this leader.
The front 203 to the hole.
Don't come back on that hill.
A little mishead for Rory there. And difficult because you got that bunker in the front of the green. They can't see that bottom of the flagstick from the little valley. The wind got them too. Now we saw this group. This is Sergio Garcia from the fairway on 5.
182 yards, 8 iron, down breeze, accessible back pin, particularly after this stonker of a drive.
What was that adjective you just used, Brownie?
Stonker.
Stonker. Stonker. Can you define that in the American English?
No. Well, 340 yards it went. It's a long way.
Okay, we got that.
He's not in the worst position there, just the back of that green. That's okay.
Back on the third now, Day second.
After third, beautiful tee shot. This from 193 to the front and 198 to the hole. Cannot see the surface, and the wind is gusting right now back into his face. Going well left.
Well, he snuck it on the surface. You saw what Curtis said before. It's not as exposed down there in the bottom of this valley on 3. The graphic showed only 3 or 4 miles an hour. But you look at these flags, they're blowing pretty hard.
I think it just try to start at the turn. It just caught the wind again.
Now this is the 11th hole, the par 4. Second of 2 good par 4s in a row to start the back 9. Maverick McNeely, the amateur from Stanford. Long hitting, strong player. Ball breaks left.
Looked like one of your putts there, Fax. Only in the middle.
Back to 2, Stricker. This is his birdie. Look at Steve Stricker.
Nice start.
This crowd will be so excited to watch this guy all week long. He contended well at the Players' Championship. Just because he turned 50 doesn't mean he didn't want to be out here on the biggest stage in the world. Here's Kevin Chappell. This is for birdie. Yep, one of Mark Blackburn's students. And boy, he's a really good player.
Very solid. You notice how solid he was there, Fax, with his bottom half whenever he hit that putt. Hardly anything moved.
Yeah, that's a good posture. He works on it there with Blackburn. Here's your boy Shane Lowry here on the par 3 13th. You like him?
Shane's had a bit of a quiet time this past year. I think last year with that last round hurt him a little bit, and he's been fighting, trying to get his way back. He's a great player, just hasn't quite got it going his direction so far. So far this year, he wanted to make Ryder Cup so badly, and disappointment US Open on that sort of hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a nice demeanor. Back on 2, Stuart Sink. This is for birdie, playing alongside Stricker. Yep, look at this old, can I say old group? Well, would have been really old if Phil was here.
They've seen bigger holes than I can remember at the minute.
McIlroy's third here, third. Yep, nicely done. That'll test that new putter there. A little slider from 4 or 5 feet.
The thing you look at here, you got lots of undulations and slopes in the fairways, and sometimes the ball's way above the guy's feet. Like example, what happened to Rory with his second shot there. Maybe expecting a big draw to come off that line and just left it out there. Didn't happen. Where it did happen for Jason Day. Went with the slope a little bit, turned it over too much, and that's part of the difficulty of this golf course skill, isn't it? With the fairways undulating so much.
Now Stricker's tee shot here on the 3rd. Not the longest hitter out there, but he rarely misses a fairway anymore. Taking it up the right side. Oh, and that's back there where Justin Rose's ball. He's going to have well over 230.
think he got it to the rough.
Okay. You can't see that. Again, a double blind. You can't see the bottom of the fairway sometimes from that elevated tee. And up at the green, here's Jason Day's putt.
Brad, tough putt to judge the speed. Comes off a pretty severe slope here the first 6 or 7 feet, flattens out, and then the last 5 or 6 feet goes back down another slope.
Is it breaking to the right too there at the end, isn't it?
Just a little bit. I think the more concern for him right now is the speed, especially when he gets it around the hole.
He's always been a very good lag putter, though, and his speed control has always been very, very good.
And Mike Chappell doesn't move his lower body at all. Yeah, Curtis, he's got to be happy with that. Perfect.
Very well done.
First thing about putting is all speed. The second one is your line. You can't have the line without your speed. So that's what a lot of the guys work on these days. You know, working on hitting those 30, 40 footers, knocking them up where, you know, getting them into the range where you feel comfortable with them. It's all about speed.
Yeah, it's not easy out here, is it? I think he's happy with that. You know, your speed control comes a lot of times from hitting the center of the face. And back over to 5 here, Garcia. This birdie putt to get him to 3 under. Nice effort. And back over to 3, Justin Rose.
Now going back up the hill, which Jason Day just came down.
Oh, and Curtis, he hit a beautiful second shot from well back there on this hole.
They had 237 back up the hill. That was a pretty good second, but didn't take advantage of it.
Isn't it funny, you know, you hit a shot like that, Curtis, that close, and then you walk away disappointed with a par.
You know, Darren was talking on the hole before about the difference in these top players. It's about making the putts, isn't it? They all strike it pretty well day in and day out. It's about, you know, I've got a good stretch for this 6 or 8 months and take advantage of it, win 3 or 4 times.
It's knocking in that 10-footer or that 8-footer at the right stage of the round, Curtis, isn't it? You know, to keep the round going or to get a little bit of momentum. But when you get it, you got to keep it. And the top players knock in those putts, which keeps the round going. Yeah, and keeping the round going is not all about birdies, as you know. It's about that par save. Some pars feel like eagles, believe it or not. As strange as that sounds, they really do. And, you know, you see guys knock one in and then go on and make 2 or 3 birdies straight after it.
And this is one right here.
This is for par for McIlroy. Little tester. Hard to tell if that was misread or mishit. A little firm.
You think that's due to not playing a lot of competitive golf? Being sharp around the greens?
It has to be, Curtis. You know, especially with its new putter. And like you said, it's hard to replicate what it's really like in a major championship.
It is. It is. You know, he's all of a sudden he's made a beautiful eagle on the hole before, and now he's feeling a little bit down about just throwing 1 shot away there.
No day to clean up. Good par. This is back over on 13. This is Shane Lowry from very close, even though he's on the fringe. Legitimate chance for birdie to get himself to 2 under.
Well, when there's less time, the USGA says play 9. You can learn more about options to play in your area by visiting www.usga.org/play9 today. And get out there for a couple of hours and get your fix.
The 7th hole here. This is the par 5, and this is very popular, Beef Johnson. What do you think you had for dinner last night, Dan?
Too much. A bit like myself.
I would never have said that.
Yeah. Beautiful shot there. He can play. You know, he's got a great character. He's great fun. He's great everything. But he can play as well. I mean, he really can play.
Moment to go at the 4th. Paul Casey. Serious forearms on this guy. And he's after muscling it out of the fescue. Will it stay up?
That was, I think, Shane. Stay.
Wow. I don't know what fescue these guys are hitting it into, because the stuff I looked at the other day walking around, either I'm very old, which I am, or not as strong as these guys, which I'm not. But it looked really tough to get them move the ball out of.
Back on the tee, Justin Rose. Always so thorough in his preparations.
Looked like fairway Woody went with there. Obviously not feeling that comfortable just with the driver right now.
That's where we saw some fescue being cut just a couple of days ago, but a lot of it had been flattened after the very heavy rain.
Okay. Yeah, it feels just a hair out of the left. Yeah, I agree.
Some unique partnerships between players and caddies, none more so than Jason Day and Carl Swatton, his former teacher at Coralban.
The intensity Jason puts into every shot. Not everybody is quite the same or shows it the same way as he does.
Ah, man. Lucky.
I think that might qualify as a good bad one, Darren.
Yes, it does. Anytime you finish in the fairway, you know, you need those good breaks. You need the ball to finish sometimes just in the edge of the fairway. The difference between that and maybe going another couple of foot into the first cut is huge regarding spinning the ball on the green.
McIlroy would drive it.
Other guys going with the shorter close to get him player. Rory just wants to try and take it on with the look of things.
Hanging on, wasn't it? Yeah.
Looking for a bit of reassurance from his caddy, J.P. Fitzgerald. The four-time major winner, Rory McIlroy, looking to get back into the major winners circle for the first time since August of 2014. Well, he's under par, but he's coming off a bogey.
He's one of the few players that ever played that kept that heel up on the air when he parted. Payne Stewart did it a little bit. Just beautiful emotion. And now back to the fourth.
Jason has a good lie. He has to hit a flop shot to stop it on the green. But there is some heavy stuff right that will affect his downswing. So, you know, it's a little bit of guessing, Brad, on how much it affects the speed right at impact.
Well, I think it's hard too, Curtis, because he's coming down into the fescue, like you said, kind of a little uphill lie maybe, and he's got to try and stop it or bank it into the upslope of the Cold Moan area. Oh, you called me, Curtis. Oh.
You know, the tall stuff, it's like we see at the Open Championship every year. The tall stuff catches the hosel and the shaft and just slows it down.
But it's a little bit of his method as well, Curtis. You know, as we know, he was a little bit more stiff-wristed than most guys. Some of the guys tend to get a little bit steeper and pick the club head up quicker on the way back. So he would have had a little bit less of that long grass to deal with. But his method dictates otherwise.
And design-wise, guy, I mean, it's definitely a very big skyline green sitting up there. And the thing you're looking at from the fairway is that false front. So you want to make sure you're long, and this little bit behind the pin falls away from you. So it's a tough target.
Even the best players in the world, no matter what it is, this course is going to get them at some stage this week.
Well, I think, Darren, more than anything else, welcome to Erin Hills. You missed it in the wrong place over this, trying to come back up the slope. These slopes look easy, but It's a lot of touch and finesse going back up to hit a perfect shot. And if you try the perfect shot, it might bite you once in a while.
You got that perfect there, Curtis. And obviously he'd go that way. He had to make sure he got it up this time. And, you know, he's thrown too far. Maybe got a little bit lucky. It just held on there. But
now on the par 5-7, Sergio Garcia's tee shot.
Into the breeze, boys. Tough drive, one of the narrow fairways.
The hole kind of dog legs to the left, slopes a little to the right. The wind's blowing against the player to the right. It's a really tough tee shot and second shot. Now Adam Scott, tee shot.
Just needs to gather himself together. So the slightly shaky start. Very demanding drive, this. The fairway tilts to the right, the wind's coming off the left. The whole dog legs the other way. I would say, apart from the 8th, this is probably the toughest drive on the golf course as the wind is blowing at the moment. Pick your target and you've got to commit your swing. No second guessing.
You're seeing some of the numbers here from TrackMan. It's pretty fast club head speed, 119. Multiply that times 1.5. It should get pretty close to that ball speed of 181. Nice. 286 yards in the air into the wind.
So this is now for a double bogey for Jason Day. Oh, and he's one of the most determined players you're ever likely to see. But Jason Day is in all sorts of bother here on the 4th.
This is Justin Thomas's second shot on the 514-yard par 4-5.
that was one of the easier swings I've seen him make. Usually his club heads, it's like a rocket, his club head speed.
Well, you had that dialed right in. Beautiful place to putt from there.
Now this is for a triple bogey. Wow.
That is set spinning going to the next tee. Thinking, how have I just done that? I had a beautiful cut 6 iron, got it wrong, treble.
Beautiful putt from DeChambeau.
The scientist. He does things differently, but he does them well.
It is first round coverage here from Erin Hills. At stake, the 117th U.S. Open. Ricky Fowler leads the way on 7 under.
Baseball and dads, 2 American treasures. Double down Father's Day weekend with 2 great games. The Rays take on the Tigers, only on FS1. Then on Fox, the Astros look to advance their dominance.
For a birdie now for Andrew Beef Johnson. Hugely popular Englishman. In she goes.
Now Jason Day on the tee here at 5.
Well, this is straight downwind right now, blowing probably almost 15. Pretty wide fairway, downhill. This might go forever.
A little bit of temper in this one, Curtis.
We just saw forever with McIlroy.
Oh, no.
Going to the right.
Looked like it pitched in the bunker there. You can see it to the left a little bit, just short of that rake. Here's Justin Thomas, birdied the first, birdied the second. Hasn't missed a fairway.
Hasn't really been on many guys' radar for this week, but he has the game. He has the ball speed. He has the trajectory. He's been able to. He can fly it in high to these greens and stop it if it gets firmer. He's got it all.
Nice. Got off to the hottest start with 3 wins already this year.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Ricky Fowler absolutely firing on all cylinders. Lots of expectation on his shoulders and delivering beautifully in round one. At record tying 65, the lowest opening round. Tying Tom Weiskopf and the great Jack Nicklaus. Well, it's time for a little look again, sponsored by Deloitte.
Hit right in the left bank and went into it. How far did that just go? Just flew that 260 into the wind. I thought it was just absolutely perfect. Maybe 5-6 short of it, sticking. Actually thought it was left of it too.
So a tough day for the 2015 US Open champion at Chambers Bay, Jordan Spieth. As you can see, a mixed bag and quite the grind. 1 over, not out of it, but not his best effort in this 117th US Open as we go to the 7th.
And here's Russell's Henley birdie putt to get him for even par, just a little bit longer than Beef Johnson's birdie putt. Same result. Oh, I like this guy with a putt in his hand.
He strokes it good.
He sure does.
He really
confident, nice demeanor out there. Speaking of Darren Clarke's favorite dinner partner.
For entrees and dessert.
Jeez, imagine the check between the two of you guys. Kind of a funny looking move back there. A little pick up with his head. Looks away. Let's try that now. A chance for another birdie to get him to 3 under par.
All swinging a little bit differently.
Bubba Watson's third here in the 7th.
Did well to get the ball back into play. Actually in a good spot, 163 yards up the hill to the 7th, a par 5.
Yep, that's where Henley and Beef just made their putt. See if Bubba can do it left-handed.
Garcia next to play, but he won't be moving it far because he's hit it into this really thick patch of fescue. And it's one of these ones, even if you're trying to chip it out sideways, you've got to be careful. Ball's sitting all right, but the grass is, no one's been in there. It's 2 feet tall plus.
We talked earlier about how thick the closest edge of this fescue is to the fairway where the irrigation lines just reach to make this some of the most difficult rough on all the course at almost every hole.
Got to come in steep. He's just trying to literally knock it out sideways.
Hold tight with his left hand, Brian. To get that club head going.
Yeah, you got to stop that shaft from twisting, otherwise you might leave it in there. This is a heave-ho. Should get it out.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Did he lay it up in that long stuff from the fairway, Ronnie?
He did, yeah, with a 3-iron.
For a mistake then.
Now second for Jason Day. 146 to the front of the green. I think he can get it done, but it's got to be hit cleanly.
Haven't seen many fairway bunker shots today. Anywhere on the course. Stay back on that right side to hoist that thing up there, and he's got one of the highest launch angles on tour. Oh, that's a beautiful shot to get it out of that bunker.
He made it look easy, but it wasn't.
Curtis, we're going to take a look at this right now from behind. Not sure what club this hit. Had to be an 8 or 7 iron here, but see the big lip right in front of him. Oh, and see that. Whoa, he grabbed some of the grass on the way through there. The ball went through that rough, and lucky to get that to the green.
Yeah, sometimes those balls just hit into the bank, pop up and go nowhere.
Now back over to 7. This is Garcia's shot, 4th shot.
And this second cut of rough is about 5 inches long, and the ball drops to the bottom, so this is no gifty either. 110 up the hill.
Hard to judge this distance, whether it's going to fly or not fly. How much is the wind going to get it? It's kind of high in the face. Awesome.
It was that little bit high on the face that would get the ball caught landing a little bit softer as well.
Yeah.
When it comes down there, Fax. So I think
Yeah.
he'll be quite pleased with that one.
Downhill putt there. And now Justin Rose, second shot here on 5.
You know, it's interesting to see here the design variety. When you go from the 4th hole, you're hitting up to a skyline green where a really difficult target, and here you're hitting down into a nice bowl. You almost feel like you can't miss this green. It's so receptive, especially if you hit it like that.
Perfect iron shot for Rose. And, you know, you're playing 3 holes in a row into the wind, and you turn and go play back down the wind.
Now Kevin Na. This is his final hole. This 9. Oh, nearly went in.
Oh, he's going to stick his tongue out at all those naysayers after that little video did, right?
Kevin Na's love for the rough this week.
Let's go back to Adam Scott's 3rd shot here on 7.
Took a bit of a gamble with his second and got it in a good spot. 50-odd yards, chipping up the face of the green too. Bound to have a bit of grab on it.
Yeah, he switched wedges this weekend. He went to a 60-degree with 4 degrees of bounce for this tighter lies and harder conditions. And good reason right there. Not even a divot on that shot.
Now Steve Stricker has this long-range par effort.
So got off to a good start, but unfortunately it looks like he's given those 2 shots back in the subsequent 2 holes.
So it looks like it's going to be a drop shot for Steve Stricker. And Ricky Fowler, the man at the top. 65, 7 under, leading by 2 at the moment.
Well, we're going to break. Watch this, Jason Day. Watch this ball. Is he going to get over the lip? Is it going to get over the grass? Would you have bet that reached the green? No way.
I'm not the type to say any of this mushy garbage.
You know what? I'm going for it.
You are completely